And you're on.
Okay, welcome to the Town of Groveland Planning Board meeting on 2/21/2023. Motion to open the meeting.
Said motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion, meeting's open.
Sit down there.
So for the public hearing tonight, we have 20 Bear Hill Roads, continued site plan review, section 50-13.2A1, cell tower at 20 Bear Hill Road, otherwise known as Cedardale Tennis Club. How you doing?
All right, so the last time, it's a bad echo. How about now? We good? Okay. The last time we had a formal public hearing for this, our engineers were going back and forth with public comment, or with peer review. Those have been more or less resolved. We have Pete Ellison here with TEC who did the review for us, as well as Verizon's representatives. So I don't know if you got, Pete, you want to maybe
Yeah, I think
start
Pete
off?
We'll have Pete start off.
The mic should be.
You get the microphone?
Okay, for the record, Peter Ellison with TEC. I'm the peer reviewer for the planning board. My company performed a civil engineering peer review of the project site plan, and we came up with a list of comments that kind of varied from just as far as location, setbacks, access for emergency vehicles, police department. We determined that the local stormwater management land disturbance bylaw does not apply to this type of project, so we did not perform any detailed review under that section. But overall, kind of the summary of our review is that the latest layout that's been submitted is really in conformance with the local bylaws. There's, I think, just two items that I would flag for the board. We kind of deferred to fire and police to weigh in on the access to the site to make sure that it's, safe and adequate, essentially, for them. And secondly, I think there was just one open item with the location of the tower to make sure that it's at least 2 miles away from surrounding cell towers, because I think that was really one of the only local thresholds that we weren't able to get confirmation on.
They
So
might have the location.
I'm hoping they might be able to answer that tonight.
Yeah, we can answer that. Want to answer now?
No, real quick, Andy, do they have, fire and police have anything to say?
So I know. Whoopsies. The police department didn't make any comments, and the fire department made a comment, I believe, when we were going through the zoning process, if I remember correctly, or no. I'm trying to remember. No, they didn't. There was no comment. I sent it out for comment, and I didn't receive anything back from both fire and police.
So
But-
there's a hydrant up there, or do they have to add a hydrant?
I think the closest hydrant is pretty far away, but I'll leave that to the applicant to answer exactly where it is.
And then
Yeah, I believe it was in their most recent response comments.
I saw the response.
It was like 1,000.
Yeah, closest fire hydrant is located 1,076 feet from the site.
And then the police, you guys are gonna have, adequate lighting, I would take it.
Just
Yeah, thank you. The only lighting that we'll have at the site will be a switch-enabled light that's on a timer, and it'll actually be focused on the radio equipment itself. It's just for maintenance. If there was an emergency, they had to be there at night, they could switch it on, it would turn off automatically. a very rare occasion. All maintenance takes place during the day, so once a month.
It's fenced?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, Mike was just suggesting a Knox box if the fire chief would like that. We do that routinely as well. So
I think that would
we can
be-
mount that to the fence and, so,
Yep.
no problem. Yep.
I was gonna answer the other.
Tower location question? So there's one tower within 2 miles, it's the one right back here. The bylaw actually says that the zoning board would have to find that the location is needed to avoid prohibiting service, which is exactly what the zoning board found in its variance. So with that, I think we do meet that standard.
Okay, yeah, we're on the, remember that, Jason?
Yes. Absolutely.
Is there anybody here from the public?
Not for that, only for Salem Street.
All right. Want to open it up for a vote?
Is this the
Board have
last
any
step
comments,
to the
or-
final,
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the last
last hurdle?
permitting they'll need
then you
through
can
any
start
board or
production.
committee.
Correct,
Obviously,
this is it.
yeah.
So you're gonna start.
So,
Sorry, the question was how soon are we going to start? Assuming we receive planning board approval, the next step would be for us to make sure that we've obtained all of our regulatory approvals. Only then will Verizon Wireless permit its subcontractor to do a geotech analysis, a soil boring. From the soil boring, they'll prepare a foundation design, tower design specific to that site. Construction drawings follow. I then take the town foundation design and those construction drawings and I apply for a building permit. So hopefully, and then when are we going to start digging? Fall,
Yeah.
hopefully? Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing I ask is as these things progress, just keep the neighborhoods notice of what's going on, so
Yep.
they're not frightened or get some kind of weird sound, and next thing you know, they're calling like Henny Penny. That's all I ask, is keep them.
You don't need any problems. Yeah.
That's all I ask, just
okay.
make them happy.
Okay.
I think we're ready for a vote.
So I'll make a motion to approve the site plan for
20 Bear Hill Road.
20 Bear Hill Road, also known as 0 Bear Hill Road, map 27, lot 1.
Okay. Do we have a second? Jim?
I'll second it, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. One abstain?
Recuse, yeah.
Okay, so motion passes. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Just
Thank you.
do what I ask.
I'll be in touch. Yeah, no problem. I'll be in touch. Thank you, guys.
Next up, 833 Salem Street, new site plan review, section 50-13.2A1, special permit for impervious coverage, section 50-6.2H3 of the zoning, Groveland zoning bylaw. The applicant is applying for a special permit pursuant to Chapter 14 Stormwater Management and Land Disturbance, Section 1405A. So, we're going to continue this.
You need to recuse yourself.
Recuse myself.
And,
We need to appoint a chair,
yep.
DJ.
so I'll make a motion to appoint DJ as the temporary chair. Thanks. I accept.
And then we do need a vote, so we need someone to second that.
I'll second that.
Okay. And then
I accept the nomination.
thanks, DJ.
All those in
Gonna
favor?
vote.
Aye.
All right.
So moved.
And now we need a motion to continue.
Do the chair duties, please.
Okay, I'm now
You
chair.
showed us this got a lot bigger.
I do, I'll quickly, if you flip in your packet, there is a letter from the engineer on record. Good morning, Annie. Please let this serve as our request to continue the site plan review for the proposed storage facility at 833 Salem Street from tonight's planning board meeting. If the board can accommodate, we'd like to continue the case to the March 7th, 2023 meeting to allow additional time to coordinate with the town's peer review engineer and other town departments. Thank you, Ian McKinnon, from Jones and Beach Engineering.
Okay.
So, yep.
Thank you.
And I have a question. Would it be appropriate to hear from anybody in the public that may have a comment now?
I would think so, yeah, seeing that they've made the effort to come down.
Making a motion to continue this?
Correct.
We are going to continue it, yes. But I don't see a problem if you guys want to speak to it.
I was looking for a plan, but I didn't want to see a plan.
That's all, I've been
Okay.
out and looked at the plans and stuff.
March 7th.
Yeah, the marks, yep.
You can also,
You guys don't have a plan?
no, I can grab one right now if you'd like one.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, entertain a
And
motion.
what's the hearing, 7th or something?
March 7th.
Thanks.
I'm gonna move away and I can show them.
Okay. That works. So we're gonna look to continue. March 7th. We will meet again on 833 Salem Street. And,
Excuse me again.
No, I'm too fat for this.
We can blow the wall.
entertain a motion to continue.
I'll make a motion to continue.
Yes, I motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved.
Gotta abstain.
Okay, next up. Can we now bring Brad
No, you
back
can
on?
take it over. We'll talk to them about the plan.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Um,
For me.
Questions?
I don't,
Brad, this all, just, I would stay up here. DJ was only appointed as chair for that portion.
Oh, okay.
sending it back to Brad.
All right, I'm back.
Yay.
Town elections. All right, Andy, five open positions on the board. Is it this board?
It is this board.
We have 5 open positions for planning board?
Yep.
Everyone's up.
Yeah, except for Brad. So, I should have written 4, I'm sorry. So, 5 people were up for election, is what it should say. So, Brad has another 4 years as of May
Yeah.
20th. I know DJ already pulled papers. Chris Goodwin, an alternate member, pulled papers as well. But Wally, Jim, and John Stokes are all up for election. So time's a ticking you need 30 something,
32?
32 signatures, 38 signatures. I'm not exactly sure where the deadline is, but the town clerk can help you pull papers if it is something you're interested in doing again.
March 13th.
March 13th. So you have just about 3 weeks.
And I would suggest that you get about 50 signatures because it's not always the 38 signatures.
Oh, because they have to be registered,
They
right?
have to be, right, they have to be a registered voter in the town. And you'll find you might be missing actually 4 or 5.
If someone's not registered and they
Yeah.
don't realize it.
Correct.
Sorry?
Right, the signatures don't quite match as well,
Oh, okay.
you know? So with that, we have, we all set with that?
Yeah, I just wanted to get it on an agenda and get it on TV. So if anyone else is interested, the public out there.
If anybody from the public wants to be on
Yeah.
the board, this is a happy board. So town updates and discussions, Whitestone Village, correspondence.
Yep, so the second to last item in your packet is correspondence from Rhonda, who is the property manager over at Whitestone. She was in 6 months ago, maybe it was. I had a resident on Georgia Street reach out again about people accessing Georgia Street accessing Whitestone Village through Georgia Street. For about those 6 months, they had been doing work on the buildings back there. They were doing roofing, and so they had a sandwich board sign saying no entrance to Whitestone Village, and this resident felt as though they would help, but those sandwich boards were the contractors. So I had reached out to Whitestone and said, could you put those back up? She said, those are not our signs. We cannot do that. So she brought it to her board, and that is the correspondence you have in front of you. So they did offer to install a sign at the end of Georgia Street on Whitestone property. They said they'd be willing to do that. And so I'm just,
Isn't there already signage along Georgia Street?
there's signage at the
There's a sign at the
stop,
top.
yeah, at the top of Georgia Street.
Which would be fine. They can do that if they want.
Okay. So
I think that one last sign at the end of Georgia Street before Whitestone would probably be our final
Right.
step, because there's no much more signage they can put in
There's nothing
to
to it.
stop people. Looking at the reply about recommending getting to Google Maps and Waze and all these apps for mapping,
yeah.
it's very difficult to reach out to Google and have them change
Right.
directions they just see a road map and it's all through coding
Yeah.
what the easiest route is. So I don't see that being an option for us to get removed directions through Georgia Street. So I think that if they put that one last sign up, they're meeting everything they've already, I think, feel as though they've probably gone above and beyond. There's a sign at the end, the beginning of Georgia, the end of Georgia. I know it's troublesome for Georgia Street
Yeah.
residents, but it's tough to tell UPS and FedEx and delivery drivers to stop cutting
Right,
through.
It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
It's a legal road.
I think the planning board might have, when the decision for Whitestone was issued, I think it might have overstepped a little bit in their abilities to
Paul is
regulate.
not here to talk about it, so.
And he was the only one who was here at the
Right,
time, yeah.
right. So I think,
But I mean, the fire has already made it very clear that they refuse to put a gate up. Yeah.
right, right.
So,
Oh, and we appreciate that Whitestone has been responsive and tried to alleviate any issues.
yeah, absolutely.
That's fine. I mean, we don't need to vote on it, right?
I don't think so. Just good to have it on the record to discuss.
Billis?
Yes, so I reached out to Billis, to our legal team to discuss the motion that the board had made at the last meeting regarding asking for an increase in the bond. Let me pull it up before I forget. And because I was concerned about the legality of us being able to ask something like that. And they did note some issues with it. So, hold on, let me pull it up. So, we can only ask that they increase the bond amount. The developer doesn't have to increase it, because you're only able to ask for or an increase in surety if you're asking for incomplete subdivision improvements. So there's that. And then surety can only be provided for construction of subdivision ways and installation of municipal services, so water, sewer, water, and drainage. And it cannot be used to pay taxes or fund the road acceptance procedure.
So what you're saying is the residents are gonna have to take it into their own hands to get that thing complete?
Waiting on the as-bills, right? That's the final step is the as-built.
Well, he hasn't paid taxes either on our,
Well,
That shouldn't affect the,
they won't accept the road if there's taxes.
But that's not necessarily on the planning board. That's more of an overarching
That's gonna be on
issue.
the selectmen.
Yep, yep,
They
yep.
won't accept
Yeah.
the road if
Yeah.
there's taxes due. Am I right, Jason?
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at it now from a solely planning perspective, planning board perspective.
From a planning board's perspective, I think if we had to, we could use the bond that's there to get the as-built done, and that's about it.
Correct.
Yep.
So then it would be up to the residents, and we tried, it would be up to the residents to actually put some legal pressure on, the developer.
To put some, yeah, so, and then they go on, like, the tax collection can be handled through the usual collection process, so through tax foreclosure and land court. The properties are in tax title right now, so if the developer were to try to pull any other permit, they wouldn't be able to because they're in tax title.
Has he gotten back to you? Have you reached out to Al?
He reached out to myself and the tax collector 2 weeks ago for an update on waiving the taxes, which,
Waiving the taxes?
yep, which we explained we could not do.
Wow.
There was a bit of miscommunication there, apparently. So, yeah, but since then, we have not heard from him. I wanted to bring this back to the board to let you know that I don't think we can really issue that letter that was addressed at the last meeting. I just don't think we necessarily have the standing to do so.
Yeah.
So I wanted to hold off on kind of reaching out to him about this until we had settled up. And then what Wally had mentioned about the recension of the subdivision plans, it doesn't affect lots already sold, and if all lots have been sold, it would not likely compel the developer to do anything, because at that point, money's been made.
Okay.
So, I just wanted to give the board that
Thank
update.
you for the update.
Yeah, not great news, but yeah, we are still working on it. But from the planning board perspective, only
Right.
essentially, it's just the as-built plans that we're waiting on.
So we have time to talk about the push of the as-built.
Oh,
Yeah, so let's see, when he comes to his senses and hopefully pays his taxes pretty soon, and
yeah,
hopefully he comes in and finishes this thing.
Unfortunately, the biggest pain point is for the residents of Billis Way who have to carry their
Trash
trash
all day.
and their plowing, all is taken care of privately. I mean, it's a good haul from the end of Billis Way to the,
Oh, yeah, and I think it would be up to them to
113.
put some legal pressure on him.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
that's,
I've advised. I know myself and the past planner, Rebecca, the town administrator, now have advised residents of that exact course of action.
What has to be done to finish the as-built?
he has to provide an as-built, the way the road was built, the way everything was situated, the sidewalks, if there's any, the lighting.
Any easements
The
that are on the
easements, the
plan.
but
cemetery.
he's missing some water,
Missing
the water tie, the sewer tie-ins.
Yeah, that's a bigger one.
Locations.
Yep. So, yes. And then, if you have not come and seen me to sign, you 4 or 3 have signed for the Registry of Deeds, just our updated signature list. It's for the other board members who aren't here right now, of course, but stop by my office.
Thank you.
And
All
that's
right.
all she wrote.
Make a motion to accept the minutes from the previous January 17th meeting.
So motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Town planner update?
The updates and discussions really covered it. There's been nothing new since I put the agenda together. So that's really it. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Motion to adjourn?
Adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in, Pete, that was quick.